That's right, Cookie Monster! And to play the game, all you have to do is find 3 things that begin with the letter of the day!
Oh, yeah?
And you only have 1 minute!
1 minute, huh?
And if you do, you'll win a whole lot of cookies!
Cookie! Yeah. Here we go.
Wait, Cookie Monster!
Yeah, what?
You don't know the letter of the day yet.
Oh, yeah, that might help.
The letter of the day is...
Yeah, what?
W!
W. And that terrific letter.
Cookie Monster, the clock has started! You only have 1 minute!
We got it!
Wiring!
That's right, Cookie Monster!
It does. No, fucking good. Just made sure I have accessories will be ignition on as well. Either that or we have to put is this doing it? Nearly full voltage. Right, that's where we're patching into.
So just a quick bit that I forgot to mention. Scotty flashed up the surge tank for us that Adam gave us beginning of the year. If you'll notice, we're going to run, got a 070 or whatever the fuck it is, fuel pump there, Elkin had lying around. The original facet pump that I had in here, so it'll be the pre-lift pump, and then it'll feed the rest. Going to use the top 2 as returns, go from there. So I'm going to plumb up Will's new fuel line. I can't actually remember how much fuel's in the tank, so I'll have to assess that, but I'm hoping that'll all come together. So I'll bolt it back down where we had nut certs in there.
After moving it around like 5 times, I decided to basically mount it where it is right as you can see. You'll see later in the video I actually mount it properly, but this just seemed like a viable option rather than having on the sort of hokey angle that it was. Stage 5 Haltech tunes. Oh yeah. So we're putting on, hey?
Stage 3 Haltech.
So we're putting on a stage 3 Haltech, which is pretty fancy. Only elite certain people get to have their stage 3 Haltech tunes. Using a Sprint 500 and the loom, so I've probably mentioned that before, I can't remember.
Shout out to Dale.
Shout out to Dale for sorting that out for me, the loom anyway. And Tim from PF for the ECU. Did me solid on that. So the inlet manifold, again, I don't remember if I've mentioned it or not, is out of a TF Rodeo, which the red car, it's actually the red car's old inlet manifold. So I used to have a pretty worked 2.6 litre fuel injected Rodeo motor in it.
Bolt straight in.
Yeah, bolt straight in. That's what the internet will tell you, which is a crock of fucking shit. It blew too many head, like the motor was sick, but it just blew head gaskets like all the time. They're not a motor that really needs horsepower, like they're designed to be fucking, what do you want to say, like a pallet hauler. Chuck things on the back of your Rodeo and off you go, not put cams and stuff. And the people that are 4Z enthusiasts are going to get sad, oh, Jono always complains about it. Look, they're just shit, okay? Just move on with your fucking life. So we're going to use the inlet off that because that's basically the more common fuel injection swap over for G-Series motors, because they're basically bolt on, except for this water galley hole, which I'll show you once I get this manifold off. It's a bit more budget as well, so you can go out and buy name brand inlets now for Geminis, which is kind of cool, but they're also like $2,000-3,000, and that's a lot of money for an inlet manifold on its own for a natural aspirated Gemini motor. It was turboed maybe, but that's not for now. I bought the Plenum as well. That was a big deal back in 2004, whenever it was. The only other upgrade we have to do is put extended studs on the inlet. Which, because I've been through so many 4Zs, I have bulk spares. So Elkin and I are going to mess around with them once we get this done. Take my throttle cable off, because no one wants to know about their throttle response.
Still not right for the way I drive. Why don't think I'm on
The man will get a laugh out of that.
I don't need a computer to tell me about my throttle response.
You tell me about my throttle response. For your information, that's what we've just been pulled off. I don't know if you can see from there where I had it. DIY camera mount. I've got it sitting on the angle, but the guard bolts are holding it up next to a spanner. Oh, that's it. It's holding for now, until it evidently falls over. Someone sponsor us a Nokia, what do you call this? Samsung camera thingamajig, so I can just mount the camera wherever. But the GoPro always goes flat, and I always forget to charge it. Channeling off. Gotcha. Jesus, the inlet gasket's a bit munted. I'm trying to remember how the fuck I get this thing off. Oh, the bottom hoses are still on.
They just looped around it.
Yeah. Just trying not to piss water everywhere.
Just this one. Hold that thought. Just in case. Fuck. Alright.
Thought I was going to OnlyFans you. Oh no, the phone. So, that's that. Clean up that mess in a sec. So the manifold's off again, just like when we did the head gasket and cam. Inlet gasket's a little bit yuck, but this is the hole we're talking about we need to fix or do something with. So I'll pull this fella off. I'll stop the camera because it's not really riveting content. See what we can do about that hole. Clean up the mess I've made. Here it is, all off. That's my little loop there because I don't have a heater core because it blew up. Maybe we'll take a sticky beak at what Michael's up to. I thought maybe we'd do some video of your thing while we're playing around.
That's not 12.
Which one? Oh, it's not 12?
No.
Oh, lame.
So I've got heaps of room for activity in there.
This is also true. So he's just put that Willwood brake master cylinder on, rather. Just putting the starter motor back together.
It's on the throttle cable at the moment.
Oh, throttle cable.
It's in a shit spot because of Eeefffiiiii now.
I can almost hear Josh Black going, "Oh, if you had a single Nicky," and I can almost hear you telling him to get fucked.
Just fuck.
See? Like clockwork.
Shut up, Josh Black.
Shut up, Josh Black. Bit of the inside view before too late. I'll stop there.
Several song-filled hours later.
Sort of doing something?
It's going to be green.
Oh, excellent. So what we're doing is trying to put a thread in here to block this porthole thing off. It's a coolant galley, I suppose. So we're going to, well, Michael's putting a tapered thread in there so we can block it off with a bung that he managed to get, which is somewhere.
Was on here.
Shit, where do we put it? I'm sure it'll turn up. Because the 4Z one doesn't have one, so.
So in typical me fashion, I forgot to record it, but as you see here, I've started to fit up the plenum properly. So we managed to mill a hole in with we end up getting a decent sized tap. So we just milled into the head there and put like a nice little bung that we found, which I couldn't find in the video. Lined it all up and it sits perfectly flush. So, well, actually recessed in the back of the head, so it's no sort of any sort of wobble or anything like that. As you can see here, I've had the head off 400 times, the plenum off 3 or 4 times to get the studs I was talking about in. So watch here and you'll see Mr. Josh Black's hands feature every so often. But yeah, it's a bit of a grueling process. So this is actually a 10-minute video I sped up. Anyway. Actually, one thing I will mention is I actually had to raise the motor slightly off the mount to clear my brake booster. As much as it's the TX one, not like the later model ones, it still just needed that little bit to get the last studs in. So something to be mindful of if you do the conversion as well. Today on Bucket Industries, not getting the job done because this is actually really comfy. Doing a little bit more work today, just tidying up a few bits and pieces. The other night we ran the wiring loom through. As you can see, I'll do a bit of a quick proper video of it in a minute. I'm walking around with a grinder between my legs, which is probably not a safe idea. There you go. So Michael's finished the little board for us. Looks pretty fucking trick. And some other bits and pieces we'll use later, but why do I always say bits and pieces? Like, fuck, they're wires. Ran it through the wall. He's terminated what we're going to use and pulled things across and so on and so forth. So I'm going to do a little bit of grinding so I can finish off the boot, because as you can see we've made a mess here. I'm just going to make this neat because the surge tank sort of rocks. It doesn't, but it'll be a little bit neater, and I like neatness these days, opposed to shit like that. Anyway. Today on Bucket Industries, grinding shit.